Joe Amento. In the Christmas of 2002, Joe was perfectly healthy. He had his first pain in his side the following month. And I said, yeah, get to the doctor. Went to the doctor. Doctor says, you have a shadow. You have a shadow on your lung, and we don't know what's under that shadow. Well, the shadow was actually mesothelioma. He was diagnosed mesothelioma at the University of Pennsylvania, great hospital, April of 2003. Now, you know, that's just a few months since Christmas, and he was totally healthy. He died in July. That would have been 20 years ago, this summer, at the age of 53. Our kids at the time were 8 and 10. So you watch your best friend die, you watch your kid's parent die. He was the best parent, better than myself, I would always say. And the reason he died is because of asbestos in Ambler, Pennsylvania. So Ambler is a small town, 0.8 of a mile square, and it used to be called the asbestos capital of the world. There are train tracks that go through the middle. You'll see where Joe's home was. And right across from that, we have, I can't even see what I'm doing. You have 2 Superfund sites in Ambler. We had the White Mountains, which had been there like forever, and megatons and megatons and megatons of asbestos waste. And across the street from that is another Superfund site called the Beaurit site. They have both allegedly been remediated. I still have significant concerns about exposure to asbestos in the community. And you'll see how close Joe's home was. McDonald's was right there as they were remediating that site. So I have spoken in the past about Ambler, and we had a parcel in Ambler called the Bast parcel, and it had been a former asbestos site. And they wanted to build on it. And we opposed it, we opposed it, we opposed it, and here we have today what they built on the Ambler asbestos Superfund. It was on the Bast parcel, which is directly across the street from a Superfund site, which looks horrible. It's totally overgrown with trees. It's ugly. It's unkempt, and I don't really think I'm concerned about the trees coming down and unearthing the asbestos. And just last week, actually, I found out that this parcel here has been exposed to asbestos, and it's now going to be another apartment building. And my concern is, you know, 0.8 of a mile square. We have a lot of mesothelioma in Ambler, just hundreds. I mean, people came from Italy, Maida, Italy. They were brought over here by Dr. Madison, who started the asbestos industry in Ambler. We had about 4 or 5 asbestos plants manufacturing pipe, roofing, a lot of asbestos stuff. So imagine in the manufacturer of asbestos, it's all over the place. And where's it gonna go? So this is basically what killed my husband, killed a number of people in the town, mostly Italians from Maida, Italy. So I wanna talk about education. And God knows Nelson Mandela knows a lot about that, knew a lot about that. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. This is a great example right here. We're educating each other. I'm learning new stuff. I'm sure that there are professionals here learning stuff all the time. But the other thing, one of the ways we can do that is by letting people know what's going on. From a personal level, I am proud to say that these are my 2 children, who I told you were 8 and 10 when their dad died. And we had an asbestos poster event at the conference in, what year was that, Earl?
That would be 2019.
2019. So we had a whole bunch of people, you know, all of you, and we had asbestos kits, and we made these posters, and we walked through the mall in Washington, and these are my two kids, Joe on the left and Julie on the right, and Julie also appears in Earl's poster, and I'm so proud of them. I just love them to death. But you know, here's Julie. She never got to dance with her dad at the father-daughter dance, and it, you know, just it's horrible. And this is the result of our poster making at that particular conference. It was raining. We stuck it out. There weren't a lot of people on the mall that day, but I'm telling you, we raised a lot of awareness. And Julie Gundlach, who is not here, actually ran into a group of students, and she actually stopped and talked to them and explained to them about asbestos. Very simple stuff. 3 minutes she talked to them. You know, stupid little signs like this, people look at them. So I want to raise more awareness. And how will we raise awareness? So these are some of the things that I am suggesting that you could do. You know, I don't care if you're a doctor, a lawyer, an Indian chief, or a housewife, or a house husband. Anybody can do any of this stuff. It's small. So for example, host a community poster making event. You know, Asbestos Awareness Day is coming up on the 26th, I believe. Something that could be done. We all have those little memos on our checks. We usually put an account number on there. Right on there, asbestos is legal and lethal. People don't know that. Write it on the outside of your envelopes. Make little stickers. Put them on there. Avery label, wonderful things. On your signature, place ban asbestos as under your signature. Whatever sayings that you want. Asbestos is deadly. And also, I'm kind of a crafter, and I have this little Cricut machine. How many know what a Cricut machine is? Oh my Lord. Anyway, it's something you can get at Michael's, you know, it's a Hobby Lobby, whatever, and you put some laminate in it, and you write out whatever you want, and it'll cut it out for you. Make window clings. Stick it on your car. Asbestos is still legal. Drive around. People will ask you. Now, in Philadelphia, we have an issue right now with a lot of asbestos in schools. They've closed a lot of schools to remediate. So why not have a school district poster making contest? How well can we educate? If we educate our children, maybe they'll go home and educate their parents and say, hey, you know, we shouldn't be doing this. Or do you know that if you do that, Daddy, you could be letting asbestos, you know, come down from the ceiling? And also, a few years ago, we did a presentation for the Ambler Borough Council. Linda came in. Who else was there? Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm not the best public speaker, but we just did a presentation. We actually had a panel similar to what we're doing here. The whole Borough Council was there. We had to feed them. Wanted to make sure they came. And just to educate them about asbestos. Not to beat up Ambler for having so much asbestos. And then yard signs. Everybody looks at yard signs. There's graduation signs, you know, for sale signs. There's this person is, you know, fix these windows in this house. Put a sign on your yard. Ban asbestos. People will ask you questions about it. Customized Post-it notes. You know, when you're sending a bill in or anything, just slap a little Post-it note on there that says ban asbestos. It'll just raise questions. And also, we're having Miles for Meso in Alton, Illinois, coming up at the end of the month. So sponsor a team. that you know, maybe this will stir up some more ideas of what people can do. Simple things, very simple things. Like I was walking through, well, we were looking at this asbestos site the other day on my way over. No, you've got like 5 more seconds. Okay. So what I wanted to say was education, education, education. We can do it. You know, your 5-year-old can do it, you can do it, anybody can do it. Thank you.